are 63, but they all envy me. Oh Shaykh, we wish we did what you have done. And I don't see that I have done anything. I haven't done anything. I look at them, they have buildings, they have businesses, they have money, they have wives. And when I look at myself, maskeen, alhamdulillah. But then I look, I said, alhamdulillah, I have YouTube, I have Instagram, I have many good things that when I'm in my grave, inshallah, I will be happy. Inshallah, may Allah make my ending and your ending a good ending. This is what benefits you. So now, when you're young, what do you have? If you die today, people will watch your Instagram, will watch your YouTube, will watch your Facebook, will watch your TikTok. Will it say, may Allah have mercy on him? Or will it say, Allah il'anu? May Allah have his curse upon him. This is what you are doing in your youth. Imagine, the Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, there are 7 under the shade of Allah Azza wa Jal on the day of judgment, when there is no shade other than his shade. Who are the 7? One of them, a young man or a young woman who grew up worshipping Allah, like you inshallah. So youth is a very important thing. But who is the lucky among the youth? He is or she is a righteous young individual who's always smiling, always positive. Of course, smiling to the same gender, not to the opposite gender. You don't go to the mall and say, no. Only to the same gender, you smile. Some of the youth always doing this. Why? I'm suspecting. Assalamu alaikum. Why don't you reply? I don't know, maybe he's not Muslim. Maybe he's not on Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Maybe he's this, maybe, astaghfirullah. Always be positive. Always have a smile on your face. Always respect the elders. So when you see me, you respect me. And be kind to the youngsters. Always love them, care for them. An individual who is dutiful to his parents, this is a lucky one. An individual whose parents are happy with you. Are your parents happy with you? Alhamdulillah, then you are among those whom Allah loves. He's always connecting to his kinship, uncles, aunts, cousins, always calling them, how are things, helping them, serving them. He always thinks positive of Allah. I met a boy a while ago, and he was very depressed. And I say, do you make dua? He said, no. I was shocked. I said, why? He says, because every time I make dua, Allah makes the opposite happen. A'udhu billah. A lot of Muslims think like this. They say, oh Allah, pay off my debts. And tomorrow, I have more debts. So I don't make dua, and Allah pays off the debt. A'udhu billah. This is the doubt in Allah Azza wa Jal that takes people to hellfire. Does Allah need us? No. We need Him. So show Allah, make dua. Allah doesn't answer it today, make 5 times dua. Doesn't answer it tomorrow, make 10 times dua. And Allah will answer. Think positive of Allah Azza wa Jal. The youth we want is the one when I look, I recognize the Sunnah. So I know, okay, he loves Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. How do I know this? He's following the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in his way of looking. So he has a beard. This is for the brothers, not the sisters. And she wears the hijab. This is for the sisters, not for the brothers. And he follows the Sunnah in the etiquettes. He's carrying miswak. And he prays like the Prophet ﷺ. Never drinks and eats with his left. Because he knows that the Prophet never does this. So when I see him here, or in Saudi, or in America, or in Russia, I know he's a Muslim. Because his etiquette, his behavior, his looks, he is a proper Muslim. How is he in his work? He's the best in his office. He's the best in his school. He's the best in his shop. Because he's always looking for perfection. And this is a real Muslim. A real Muslim doesn't say 50% is good. No. I want to be an A+ student. Because when they see my grades, they say, MashaAllah, he's a Sunni. He studies because he loves to perfect his work. This is a sign of a practicing Muslim. When he mixes up with righteous people, good Muslims, practicing Muslims. So I don't have to ask him, did you see Hangover 2? Because he doesn't watch movies. He doesn't listen to music. He's a good Muslim, practicing Muslim. When I call him 5 minutes before Fajr, I know that he's awake. He was doing tahajjud. And he was making dua for me. This is a good youth that I like. I would never see him mixing up with sinners, with bad Muslims. Because his company, if I look his contacts, they're all righteous Muslims, practicing Muslims, students of knowledge, imams, good Muslims. This is the individual we want. Sinners are afraid of him. Why? Because when you fear Allah, Allah makes everyone afraid of you. And when you don't fear Allah, you fear everyone. This is a rule of thumb. Now, who is our role model among the youth? Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. He was 16 years of age when he went in the Quran and he destroyed the idols. He was alone, one boy, doing this by the order of Allah. They tried to intimidate him, throw him in fire. He was steadfast. And look what happened afterwards. He became an ummah of his own, as Allah describes him in the Quran. In the Quran, the Prophet Allah Azza wa Jal mentions in a surah called Al-Kahf. What does Al-Kahf mean? The cave. In the surah we read every Friday, Allah mentioned to us 7 boys who could not live with their people because they were engaged in haram. So they decided to stay in the cave and worship Allah. And you know their story. So, what is the future of the youth? The Prophet ﷺ used to be optimistic. He used to love good tidings, good news. So whenever he travels and someone is calling his friend, he's not with the Prophet, and he's calling him, Ya Rashid. What does Rashid in Arabic means? Guided. His name is Guided. If the Prophet, while traveling, hears this name, he becomes happy. He's optimistic. Okay, inshallah, we are guided. If he hears someone calling another man, Ya Najih, successful, the Prophet becomes happy. Inshallah, we are successful in our journey. So how do we see the youth in the future? Very brightly. Very, very brightly. Who would imagine that all of these youngsters come to attend a lecture or a talk for someone like me? It's boring. Why don't you go to nightclubs? Today is Sunday. Go to nightclubs, dance, have some whiskey and enjoy life. What are you doing? Wasting your life. Coming, listening to this old man. If he could have done better, he would have, but he doesn't have anything but to preach. But when you look, no, these guys are smart. They want Jannah. All what we are doing in this life is what? We want Jannah. If you have 5 cars, then what? Your grave. How many cars will you take? Car keys? Nothing? Not even my clothes. This I cannot take with me. Not even your mobile. Nothing. So this is what we want, Jannah. You are here for Jannah. You could have done anything. You could have stayed home, watched Netflix. But you didn't. Because you want Jannah. What is the future? Very bright. Bi-idhnillah. But in order to keep it bright, you have to be productive as youngsters. We have a problem because the youngsters are very impulsive. Today they tomorrow they flip, then they flip, then they flip. They don't have a strategy. The vast majority of youngsters, you ask them, what is your objectives in life? Go to high school. I used to teach in a high school for 15 years. I was a teacher in public high schools. I asked the youngsters, Saudis, teenagers, what is your objective in life? I said, what is objective? What do you mean? I said, objective. He said, I don't know. Why do you come to school? Because my father brought me. So you don't want to come to school? No. The Saudis love holidays. So if we have a holiday next week, this week we don't go to school. The holiday is next week. Yes, but this holiday is off. And after the holiday is over, we take 1 week off. Again, 3 weeks in 1 week. They hate school because it's our mistake. We did not show them what objective is. And everyone goes to school because his parents ordered them to do. So the best of them would say, I go to school so I can go to university. Then what? I finish university, I get a job. Then what? I get a job, I get married. Then what? Khalas. Life is over. Yes, when you get married, game over. Unfortunately. For those who don't know the beauty of marriage, for those who know the beauty of marriage like me, no. This is the beginning of paradise. Alhamdulillah, I've been married for 40 years. This is life without parole. It's like prison, but good prison. Alhamdulillah. My wife is not watching this, alhamdulillah. She's in Saudi Arabia. But you have to have an objective. What is your objective? So, if you have a Ferrari and you fill it up with gas, 7 o'clock in the morning, oh, mashallah, ready. You get inside, you drive, but you don't have a destination. Where will you go? Nowhere. You will reach nowhere very fast because you don't have a destination. Muslims, unlike all other religions, they have a destination. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ لَا شَرِيكَ لَهُ. All of this is for Allah. So everything we do is for Allah. This is my objective. I go to the gym, yes. Why? To become strong. Why? To become healthy, to become a good Muslim, to become a good husband, to become a good sheikh, to become a good citizen, a healthy one. This is for Allah when working out. I sit with the children so that they have quality time to learn. This is for Allah. I eat good food, not spicy. Because this is for Allah. I say Bismillah. And when I finish, I say Alhamdulillah alladhi at'amani hada. Everything is for Allah. I have an objective. And this is why you become productive. So you have to have a strategy. You have to have a mission and vision. Once you have this as youth, wallahi, you will be the happiest man on earth. You will be the happiest woman on earth because you have an objective. So what is our objective in life? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. So this is your objective, to worship Allah Azza wa Jal. And worshipping Allah means to follow Islam. 90%? Huh? Good? 90% good? 95? This is elections, huh? It's Indonesia. 99.9? You cannot have anything except less than 100%. Which means, if I hear music, music is haram, I have to say music is haram. I cannot sit and say, yalla, Indonesia is okay. Indonesia got talent. It's okay. No, Islam is Islam. It's not my religion. It's not your religion. It's the religion of Allah. We have to comply with Quran and Sunnah. End of story. This is my mission and vision. Look at Prophet Isa, peace be upon him. Jesus. He says, and he has made me blessed wherever I am, and has enjoined upon me prayer and zakat as long as I remain alive. His mission and vision. To be blessed. Are you blessed? Wherever you are, when you go to school, when you sit with your kinship, when you get to home, when you are at work, are you blessed? Do you radiate Islam wherever you are? Or, no, I can't speak. I cannot say this. I'm afraid, I'm shy. No, you're a Muslim. You have to be proud of your religion. So, the youth, in order to have a future, they have to be positive. Look at the pride of a Muslim. Many Muslim countries, when someone comes to them and says, oh, I thought you look Spanish, they become happy. I thought you look American. I thought you look German. They become happy. They are not proud of being Muslims. Who among you is proud to be a Muslim anywhere? See, 5, 6, 7. What's wrong with you? Oh, Sheikh, you speak English. We only understand Bahasa. So why did you come? We came to laugh, Sheikh, because they told us you're a stand-up comedian. We're waiting for you to make us laugh. What is this? So, are you proud of being a Muslim? Yes. I'll give you an example. Who knows Usama ibn Zayd ibn Haritha? Does anyone know Zayd ibn Haritha? Okay, 4, 5, 3, okay, 7. Yeah, no problem. Zayd ibn Haritha is the only companion who was mentioned in the Quran by name. How many times Abu Bakr was mentioned in the Quran?
0.
Umar?
0.
Aisha?
0.
The only companion mentioned in the Quran by name is Zayd. He was the adopted son of the Prophet ﷺ. In Mecca, he was known to be Zayd ibn Muhammad. But then, Allah in Surah Al-Ahzab, chapter 33, abolished adoption, no adoption. So he was known as Zayd ibn Haritha. He had a son. His son was Usama. And this son was not like his father. How? Zayd was white, like snow. Usama was black, like night. Subhanallah. So when people saw that Zayd is white, Usama is black, they can't be related. So they used to say that he's not his son. He's son of a slave maybe. And the Prophet ﷺ was hurt by this. Until one of the trackers of the Arabs who can tell, this is son of this by the looks, he looked at their feet and they said, these feet are from one another. So the Prophet was happy. Usama, to cut a long story short, because most of you are sleeping, isn't it? No, inshallah, I will finish, inshallah, in 1 hour, inshallah. No. So Usama, may Allah be pleased with him, was maybe 12 years old, 13 years old, very young. Hakeem ibn Hizam, he's the nephew of Mother Khadija. He brought the garment, the suit of the Essen. The Essen, one of the kings of Yemen. So the suit is, Versace, Armani, something very expensive. He bought it and gave it to the Prophet ﷺ as a gift. The Prophet doesn't wear brand names. So he took it and gave it to Usama. Now remember, Usama is what? Black. And he's 12 years, 13 years. So he wore this suit and went out. Hakeem did not know. While walking in the streets, Hakeem saw Usama. And he was shocked. By the way, are you following me? Yeah. Good. I will pause here and footnote. Hakeem ibn Hizam is the nephew of who? Khadija. Good. Do you know that Hakeem ibn Hizam is the one who bought Zayd ibn Haritha as a slave? And he came and gave it to his aunt Khadija as a gift. He was a slave. Khadija saw that the Prophet, who did not have boys, all his young boys died. She saw that he loved this young boy. So she said, "O Prophet of Allah, he's a gift." So the Prophet took him in and made him his son. This Hakeem ibn Hizam is the one who bought the suit of the Yazid and gave it to the Prophet, who gave it to the son of Zayd ibn Haritha. So Hakeem is related to his father and to the suit. So when he saw, now we come back to the story, huh? Everybody's. I hope you understand what I'm going through. So when he saw Usama with the suit, he said, "You wearing the suit of the Yazid, the king of Yemen? If he said this to me, I will be terrified. I will take off the suit. Sorry, take it back." Usama was a young man, and he was proud of being a Muslim. What did he say to him? He said, "Yes, I am better than the Yazid, and my father, Zayd, is better than his father." This is the pride of a Muslim. This is the honor of a Muslim. You don't look down at yourself. You're a Muslim. You're the best of Allah's creation on earth if you are committed to Islam. Now, imagine this boy, after 4 years, when he was 16 or 17, the Prophet made him, alayhi salatu wasalam, the ruler and the leader of an army. Who was in this army? Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. All senior to him. But the Prophet said, you are the leader, you're the imam, you are the amir. And this shows you that the youth have the power. The youth have the technology if they abide by Islam. So they have a good future. Now, being proud does not mean being violent. Be careful. Because the youth are known to be impulsive. They want to pick a fight. So sometimes they mix. They think that being proud means I can fight, I can be violent, I can hurt people, I can harm people, I know silat. No, this is not the pride of a Muslim. It does not mean you are arrogant. Where are you from? I'm from Bidan. Oh. No, we're all Muslim. At the end, who's your grandfather? Adam. Who's your grandfather? Adam. Of course, if you go to America or to Sweden, who's your grandfather? Monkey. This is different. No, our grandfather is, alhamdulillah, Adam. Their grandfather, we have no problem. So, what should we do in order to be positive, to have a future? Youth must always work as a team. We are all members of the same team. We're not alone. So the youth needs the elders. They need their wisdom. I need your muscles. I don't have muscles, but I have the brains. They have to consult their ulama. They have to consult their parents, their grandparents, the elders in the family. Because unfortunately, it's one of the defects of youth is wanting to be leaders. So when you want to become a leader, this means that you don't listen to others and you take the initiative with your own hand. And then when problems happen, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's too late. You made a lot of harm because you did not consult. So we must not be impulsive. You know the Battle of Uhud? What happened? 70 of the companions were martyred. The Prophet ﷺ was hurt and attacked, and the ring of the shield was in his cheekbones, and he was bleeding. His head was wounded. One of his teeth was broken. Because of what? He said, we will fight in Medina. The youth said, no, we want to go out. And they started quarreling. They remembered last year in Badr, the people went out and won. They could not be with them because they did not think that they will fight. So this year, when they knew that they're coming, they said, no, we want to go out. The Prophet said, the elders said, no, we stay in Medina. Medina is a fortress, very strong. If we go out, we're in the open. And they said, no, we have to go out. This is the youth. The Prophet went into his home, ﷺ, put on his helmet, his shields, and said, let's go out. The youth said, oh, no, sorry, Prophet. We didn't know that you will be angry. We will stay. He said, too late. Khalas. When the Prophet wears his armor, he has to go. And look what had happened. Now the youth said, we're sorry, but too late. So don't do something and say, I'm sorry. Don't shoot, then ask questions. Excuse me, what are you doing? You already killed him. You should have asked, what are you doing? If you didn't like the answer, you should. Not shoot, then ask questions. The youth have to be part of a team. How much time do we have, by the way? Organizers? Where?
With mom.
4 minutes. Oh, I have another half an hour. Anyhow, so what should we do as a youth? We have to have balance. The biggest problem among the youth is imbalance. Either they focus on seeking knowledge and they forget their family, they forget their bodies, they forget their work, or they focus on business, but they forget their prayer, they forget their family, they forget their health, or they focus on sports, but they forget, no, you have to have balance. You have to go to the gym, you have to be kind to your parents, you have to be good with your children and wife, and you have to be a good businessman, and you have to have a good income. It's all a collection. Also, you have to always remember, that the biggest enemy of the youth is what? Spare time. The biggest enemy. Why? I see youth and they're playing PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo, games, Fortress of the Muslim, what is it? Fortnite. My bad, I apologize. And Call of Duty, and I don't know, and they spend 4 or 5 hours. What are you doing? They say, we're killing time. What is the crime of time to kill? What did the time do? You're killing yourself. The biggest enemy is stupid phones, smartphones. This is the biggest enemy. Why? Because this enemy makes you spend time, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, FaceTime, Twitter. And you see the brothers holding it. If you're in an orchestra, it would have been better. And they spend time on it. TikTok, I don't have TikTok, alhamdulillah, on my phone. I tried to download it once. It was 6 o'clock. I ended up at 12. Because you just say 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and time flies. Now how much time do you spend on social media? 4 hours? 5 hours a day? Okay, what did you benefit? Zero. How big is your muscles? Nothing. How strong is your stamina? Nothing. How much money did you gain? Nothing. This is shaitan. Because it is consuming your time. No, watch, alhamdulillah. Khalas, I mean, continue. So, be careful, because this is what will kill you. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, ni'matani maghbunun fihima kathirun min al-nas. There are 2 blessings from Allah that many people have wasted. 1, health. 2, spare time. Not time only, spare time. If we spend, wallahi, I swear, if we spend 10% of the time we spend on social media reading the Quran, we will not be like this. If you spend 10% reading the Quran, how much time do you spend the Quran? I go to Muslims, mashallah, how many times did you finish the Quran? Alhamdulillah, 2017 I finished it once. But inshallah, next Ramadan, I will try to finish. Why? Muslims finish the Quran minimum once a month. Every day you have to read 1 juz'u. In Qiyam al-Layl, as wird. So every Hijri month, you finish the Quran once. In Ramadan, you finish it 5, 6 times, yes, okay. But not to finish the Quran, but you spend your time on social media, doing what? Brainwashing. And people come, Shaykh, I have waswas. Wallahi, I have people coming to me every day, 10, 15, 20 people. Shaykh, I have waswas, I have OCD. And when you speak to them, they have zero knowledge in Islam. But they know everything about social media. Also, you have to avoid bad company. It's time to Q&A. Syaikh with the Sheikh. So spelling is, this is for someone else, not for me. So you have to avoid bad company. Look at who my friends are. I don't have friends. How sad. No, you see me going out with righteous people. You have to accompany righteous people who would remind you, Salaam alaikum, Shaykh. Did you read Quran? Okay, tomorrow we have a lecture. Can you come with us? Okay, next month, inshallah, we go for Umrah. These are the people you want, not people saying to you, did you watch the last movie? I have a CD. It's good, you watch it. Do this, do that. Did you listen to the last song? Do you know this link? No. These will take you to hellfire and not to paradise, inshallah. And I have a lot of different issues, but inshallah, if you take this home, inshallah, you will benefit. So, do the youth have a future? Inshallah. They do have a bright future. You can be one of the future of imams of Islam and Muslimin. You can be. What is holding you back from being an imam? Sisters, what is holding you from being a teacher, a role model to the women? What is holding you from being an entrepreneur, a businessman, someone leading the community? Nothing. You can do it if you seek Allah's help and make dua. But if you're happy with what you are, you have no future. So start strategizing, start planning, and inshallah in 5 years' time when I come here, I'll find you here giving a talk بإذن الله عز وجل. والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد. Should I leave?
Permission, Sheikh. Alhamdulillah. Okay, Sheikh. So, dear brothers and sisters, we are now in the. Avoid, Sheikh. Avoid. Dear brothers and sisters, we come to one of the most anticipated segment of the evening. Actually, this is the question and answer. So, I will invite all the brothers and sisters, all the audience, to ask to share. So use your moment. I will have two ways of you to ask to share. Number one is to ask directly. So just raise your hand. I will appoint you. Committee will hand you over the mic. You can ask the question directly to share. Number two, if you are not comfortable of asking the questions directly or it's slightly more private, so you can send to WhatsApp number. It's been shared before, but I'll repeat it. So this is 0811 16 0294. You all have got this, right? 0811 16 0294. You can send the WhatsApp, and then the selected questions will be displayed on the screen. I will read it and Sheikh will answer it, inshallah. Okay? No questions so far? I mean for me. Okay, so I will open up the chance now for the live audience first. Okay. Arijaluk Kawam Alanisa, so I'll start from the brother. I think the brother with the, who's holding the sister, who's holding the daughter, that would be the first question. And then one from sister to wait a second. Who's the first there? Okay, I'll give, okay. The sister with the iPad. That seems already like right 10 questions for the Sheikh. We start with the brother.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Can you raise your hands? Where are you? Yes.
Yes, first, Jazakumullahu khairan, Sheikh, for your lecture. First, actually, I want to ask for prayer for my daughter, so that in the future she become a solihah daughter that can do birrul walidain, good to us. And the question is more on, actually currently I'm in undergraduate study in IU, Islamic Studies, and